So the show goes on. Let's have a look at Jeff's dog. As you can see in this video, what we showed you last week, to get the dog to sit was very difficult. To get the dog to concentrate was very difficult. Why? Because there was leaves blowing around the yard. It was a new environment and the dog was just pushing the boundaries. He wasn't focused at all. He was pushing boundaries. And you know what happened in the video last week, because you would have watched it and you would have understood why we put it up in the sections that we did. So as you can see, really struggling. Let's move on 1 week, knowing that Jeff has only concentrated on the place board, and all we're asking the dog to do here is sit while Jeff gets back behind that place board and then come onto the place board. And the dog is pushing Jeff and testing him, and Jeff felt frustrated. So with only a couple of days work, because the dog had to have a couple of days off, look, dog's not getting on there. Jeff had to put him on there. Let's see the difference 1 week on.
You've only put 3 or 4 days into it, and I said to you, how many times have you been on the place board? And you said just once. Just once. What I'd have a tendency to do is go down the track 35 feet, stop, walk back to him, then go back down the track again 35 feet, stop, count to 10, and then call him to you. If he comes off that place board, I will give him a firm correction to say that's unacceptable, once he knows what sit means on the place board. But first I've got to teach that behaviour, else I'm cruel. As simple as that. Once I've taught the behaviour, if he wants to push boundaries, he's got to take the consequences. Simple as that. But you have not had this dog sitting there on one spot for this long without that place board. No. Because he knows that there's going to be a negative if he comes off the place board. He'd soon learn with me to be a negative if he come off the place board, because he would get a negative. But I'm going to make this a happy place. I'll make it a happy place. You come onto the place board, I'll give you a retrieve. So he comes back to you when he wants to retrieve, he'll automatically get on the place board because he'll say, I want the retrieve. But this is better than my yard, because my yard's all new, there was leaves flying around. This is a track, and all I want that dog to do is go down that track and straight back onto the place board with the retrieve. And you will have the dog's attention. If he comes off the place board, you put him back on. Sometimes I would only put my hand up like that to him and move backwards. Other times I'll give him the verbal cue and the hand. And sometimes I'll just go, sit up and walk down the track. I'm teaching him all 3 things means stay there. Once I've mastered him completely, you should be able to move straight down there, and he does not move until told. But if you keep saying sit up, sit up, sit up on a place board, and he keeps coming off, he's learning that he doesn't need to listen to you until you get cheesed off with him. What we're saying is there's no level of anger here. It's not personal, it's business. We want you to stay on that place board till told. So what you've got to do, you've got to mix it up. He mustn't think that every time he's on the place board he's going to get a retrieve. So hand up to him like that. Look at the eye contact you've got now. He's not looking at leaves, he's not looking at anything other than that. I want you to walk down the track, hand up to him like that, walk down the track 15 feet. That's it. Keep going. Well done. Now you did this a few weeks ago on the ground and he was moving. He's not moving. Right, so now walk back to him. Well done. And look at the eye contact you've got, because you've got the item in your hand. Yeah. If not, he's looking around for anything like songbirds or anything like that. You've got the focus, use it. Use it in your hand there like that. But you ain't got the focus now. I got the focus, because the obsessional behavior is for this. It's for the movement that we've created. Right, yeah. So if I'm going to send that dog from that place board, I'm going to stand here when he comes back. So he comes back onto this place board here. Right? Now, how am I going to get him onto this place board here with the retrieve keenly? Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop till I tell you. Come back. Stand still. Call him to you and sit him at your feet.
Come here. Sit up.
Sit him there. You come back to the place board.
Sit up.
That's it. Keep coming. Sit up. Tell him. That's it. Change that tone. See what I did? Instead of that really friendly. Sit. Don't shout. Just change the tone. Tap. Call him in. Come here.
Here.
On he comes, and as soon as he's on there, send it now.
Get out.
There you go. So me shouting at him, he remembered last week, didn't he?
What's that?
He remembered last week.
Yeah.
See how fast that kicks in?
Yeah.
Because he went wrong, he jumped straight back on the place board, didn't he? He went,
Yeah.
friggin', I'll avoid that negative.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that negative sent that message to him?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Well done.
Aye.
Once you're down the line, you could start throwing out dummies. You could start throwing out a couple of dummies. If he comes off the place board, you go to him without losing your cool, give him the negative, bring him back and put him on the place board. But once he's on there now like that, move back 30 feet. So you want to go back another 10 feet. The dog is learning to switch off. The dog is learning just to sit there because he's in an elevated position. If he moves off there, he can't fidget his feet and drag himself towards you because you keep putting him back on and telling him, I want you to stay on the place board. Now call him to you.
Come here.
Once he comes to you, give him lots of praise.
Get that out.
That's enough, let him go. Now you walk back.
I don't know if you just...
Conditioning him.
You tap the ball.
But no, by conditioning him. So if I've conditioned him to sit down there and wait,
Yeah.
and I've got the retrieve here, and I'm standing here where the place board is, where's he going to come? Onto the place board. So if I sit him down there without anything in my hand, and he comes back up and he thinks, oh, I'll sniff over here because I don't want to get on the place board like he did with the long line, and went off doing his own thing.
Yeah.
This is the item that you're using to create that obsessional, look at me, the fun's going to come from here.
Right, yeah.
So if you stand at the side,
Yeah.
look, and we throw it out there, he may bring it back, he may not. But if you condition him to sit out there and come onto the place board and he gets the fun from here, where's he going to come?
On the ball.
On the board. It may work by throwing it down there and tapping, but we get far better behaviour with taking him down there, telling him to sit. So watch this. Come on, him. Come here. Sit up. Come here. Sit. Get out. There you go. Right, now, come here. Good lad. Good boy. Good lad. Good lad. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So, because I sat him down there, he came on here for this. He saw it as a positive. He got the message straight away. But out there, he can't move. But on here, it's the fun element. We're making it far more fun to come on here than it is to sit out there. Sit up. Last time I tell him, if he moves, I'll go back and correct him. Come here. Sit, sit. Get out.
So the proof is in the pudding, as they say. We've used discipline. Have we destroyed the drive? Look at the video. The video tells the story. Now, if you want to learn how to train a dog to a high standard, I suggest you come over to Patreon, because there you can see the full 50-minute video of how I condition the dog in one session to stay on the placeboard, and realize by staying on the placeboard it's pleasurable. By coming onto the placeboard voluntarily, it's pleasurable. We're using psychology. We're using dog psychology. Does that make me a dog behaviorist, or does that make me a dog trainer?